The big AliExpress anniversary sale is right here, and today I'm going to talk to you about 8 great watches that you cannot afford to overlook. I don't know what is happening recently, but since the last November sale, prices have been great on AliExpress, and this sale is no exception. The sale starts on the 18th and ends on the 27th of March, but from the 13th you can already go ahead and put those items on the cart and lock in the price for you to come back during the sale and snatch them at the best prices. It is very important that you do that because the sale codes are in limited quantity, and once they have been snatched away, there is no more. A lot of my viewers have complained that they don't get the prices that I tell them because codes have expired and they cannot get them anymore. So do make sure to come as soon as possible if a watch interests you, to input the codes that I'm going to show in the screen right here and that I am going to tell you about, so you can have the items at the best price. All of the watches in this test I have reviewed. I own most of them. I have them right here next to me, and I'm going to go from the least expensive to the most expensive. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the big button below that says subscribe. In this channel we review entry-level watches to mid-level watches, but always of the best possible quality, like the ones I'm going to present to you right here. Without further ado, let's go to the watches, and we're gonna go from the least to the most expensive. The least expensive watch and the first watch of the selection is this Pagani design, code YS008. It is a pure homage of the Audemars Piguet code 11.59, but it is a great homage. I was extremely impressed by this watch. I'm going to leave the link of the review that I made of this watch. I was impressed by the finishing level of this watch. It is outstanding for a watch of this price point. The price during the sale is going to be 48 euros minus 8 if you input the code. We'll give you this watch for $40. For $40 you get a watch with a domed sapphire crystal, with excellent build quality, with excellent finishing, with a Seagull VK63 and with 100 meters of water resistance. The dimensions are 41 millimeters in diameter by 13.2 millimeters in height by 50.4 millimeters in log to log by 20 millimeters in log width. As you can see, like in the original, the logs are hollow, which is a beautiful, stylish element in here. The positives, we have talked about them. Excellent value. I don't even know how this is possible. The negatives, it is a little bit large, especially on that log to log of 50.4 millimeters. That is number one. And number two, a text that says sports. Pagani design are infamous for doing this. It doesn't ruin the watch as it's not too visible, but still it is there, and I wish that it weren't. But besides from that, you're getting an absolute cracker of a deal in here with this Pagani design. The second watch of the selection is another Pagani design, a homage to a very well-known watch, maybe one of the 2 best-known watches in the world. Of course, the Omega Moonwatch. And let me tell you that for the $67 that it's going to cost during the sale, this watch offers a lot. Let's start by the dimensions. You've got, like the original, a dimension of 42 millimeters in diameter, a pretty thick 13.7 millimeters in height because of that domed sapphire crystal, 47.4 millimeters in log to log, and 20 millimeters in diameter. In here you see, unlike the infamous Moonwatch, this watch is fully made out of stainless steel with a sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, and a Seiko VK63 Mega Quartz in here. It also has 100 meters of water resistance. An impressive watch for the price with all those amazing specs. Of course, it does have negative points. It is a homage. If you're not into that, well, this watch is certainly not for you. The finishing, although it's pretty good for the price, is not as good as the original, of course, and not as good as the homage to the 1159 that we just saw, and that is way less expensive than this one. And if you get the version with a stainless steel bracelet, that stainless steel bracelet is not really good quality. It is a bit rough to the touch. So I would advise you to save some money and get the version on a strap. If you take off the $8 with the code, this watch comes out at $59. Impressive value once again. The third watch of the selection is the Boderry Voyager, and this one sold like hotcakes a while ago, and so much so that it was pretty much impossible to get them. They had trouble sourcing them. Right now, I believe they have solved those problems. Let's hope that with the big demand of the sale, they do so. So this watch became so popular because it was fully made of titanium and because the price was pretty much exceptional. It is the same case here, with a price of $81 during the sale, and if you get to have the code, that comes down to $73. For that price, you get a watch made of titanium with a Seiko NH35, screwed on crown, 100 meters of water resistance. There's even a version with a full titanium bracelet, but that costs like $20 more. So you get about a little bit over $100 during the sale with that bracelet and watch head made fully of titanium. The dimensions are 40 millimeters in diameter by 10.4 millimeters in height by 49 millimeters in lug-to-lug by 22 millimeters in lug width. You've got a lot of versions of this watch here. The black dial version with luminous markers that look extremely good. The white dial version that looks very good as well and is reminiscent of that very, very good Hamilton Khaki mechanical. You even have versions in bronze, but those come a little bit more expensive. On the negative sides, those dimensions are a bit strange, especially the lug-to-lug at 49 and the 22 millimeters in diameter. Also, and I don't know why, the black dial version have the NH35 inside, but the white dial version has the Miura 8215. I very much prefer the NH35, but I don't know why they have made this choice. It is a bit strange. Nothing wrong with the Miura except for the noise. And at $73 or even $81 at full price, it is still a great deal for this watch, for a full titanium watch. The next watch of this selection, it is a favorite of the viewers of this channel and of many other budget channels. It is of course a Steeldive 1970 that we have reviewed here so much and that I have talked to you about in length. You know that this watch is the best-selling watch on AliExpress. You know that it's a homage to the Seiko Willard. You know that it's pretty large with a 44mm in diameter case by 13.5mm and by 46.8mm in diameter and a pretty weird 20mm in lug width. You also know that to be popular, this watch has to be extremely good value, and it is. It costs $79 during the sale, and if you get the -$8 code, it comes down to $71. For that you get an NH35, a fully stainless steel construction with a fully stainless steel solid link bracelet with solid link clasp, a sapphire crystal, a ceramic bezel insert, and very good lume, and even the numerals on the bezel insert are lumed. On the negative side, it is a homage, of course, as many watches on AliExpress, and it is tad large. But if you like this watch like so many others, $71 is not expensive. And the news about this watch is that they have come up with some other color variations. So besides from the green, black and blue that you had before, you now have baby blue, you have yellow, you have white. They do cost a bit more. I'm gonna be leaving links for both of them. The next watch in the selection is maybe one of my favorite watches right now, and you guys who know the channel know about that, and it's the Baltany Chronograph. I have the tri-compax version, but I will suggest you to buy the bicompax because it is the more popular version. But I love my tricompax anyway. With this watch, you get so much. Let's go with the dimensions. You get a dimension of 39mm in diameter by 12mm in height, 46.2 in log-to-log, and 20 in log width. So great dimensions here. The watch comes at $116, and if you get the $12 discount, it comes down to $104. What you get for that money, so just over $100, you get spectacular quality. Really, guys, I compared this watch to the similar in design Militaro in a recent video, and there was no contest. The Baltany was just so much better. You get 100 meters of water resistance, you get a great size, it is not a homage, even though it is, of course, getting inspiration from a popular watch design, the Flieger, and it does have, as we have said before here and so many other channels have said, it has some of the best pieces of sapphire crystal that you can have on a watch, with an anti-reflective coating that is really surprisingly good, amazingly good at this price point and pretty much at any price point. I would like to compare it soon to the stuff from Omega and from the best in class when talking about anti-reflective coating, Breitling. Stay tuned for that. The negative aspects is basically, I'm trying to fault this watch for the price, but I really cannot too much. I'm gonna be nitpicking here, and that has to be the NATO in which it comes. The NATO is just a black NATO, not much to write home about. But besides from that, this is an exceptional watch for the money. The moment has come, you knew the moment would come, to talk about the 1963. In this case, it's going to be the Red Star. This watch is a completely Chinese design from, well, 1963. If you want to know the full history of this watch, link in the description below. The dimensions of this little beauty, 38mm in diameter, so small, by 13.2mm in height for this sapphire version, by 47mm in log-to-log, by 18mm in log width. On the sale, it comes at $128, and if you get that $12 discount, it comes down to $116. And for that, you get, well, of course, a historic timepiece, which is maybe the most popular watch from coming out of China, and for a reason. Extremely good design, sapphire crystal, and that exceptional Seagull ST1901 mechanical chronograph movement. A beauty to look at, and you really wonder how they do that at this price point. Of course, if you take a look to the watch, you can see the different defects and fluff here and there, but at this price point, it is perfectly acceptable, and to the naked eye, this movement is just exceptional. Be careful though, it is a bit noisy and it is a bit delicate. There is a pretty high rate of failure of these movements. I have bought 4 during my time, and 1 has failed on me. So do be careful with this one. Maybe you cannot wear it as a daily, and maybe don't like ride a bike or play rugby with it. But besides from that, amazing little watch, amazing quality, and I'm going to be giving one away very soon to a member of my channel to celebrate the 20,000 subscriber threshold. The next watch of the selection is a watch that I talked to you, a watch that surprised the world for horology a few years back, and it is the first Tourbillon below. It was at first $500, then $400, then $300. Now I see that this Aesop Tourbillon is at $235 during the sale. That is amazing. Once again, I do not know how they do it. And before you ask me, yes, this watch is a real tourbillon, courtesy again of Seagull. The dimensions are 42mm in diameter by 10.6mm in height, by 50.3 in log-to-log, and 22 in diameter. The positive points, of course, tourbillon for $200. Come on. The build quality is pretty good, not exceptional, but pretty good. The durability, I've had this watch for 4 years. I do not baby it, I don't wear it every day, let's be honest, but it still works. So for people who tell you, yeah, you buy that, it will break in a week, in a month, not at all. I've had mine for 4 years. You can go ahead and check my videos. From many years ago, it is exactly the same watch. It is a sapphire sandwich, so sapphire on top and sapphire on the back, which shows you that pretty beautifully decorated Seagull movement. You've got, of course, an original design in here. You've got many variants of the watch, which are, I think, a little bit better looking than this one, but with the same movement. Some come at, I don't know, $500, $600. Yeah, I think that value-wise is still the king. On the negative sides, the watch is a bit large, 42 in diameter, over 15 lug to lug, so you need a mid to large size wrist for it to fit rightly on your wrist. But besides from that, a Tourbillon, $200 in offset. The last watch of the selection is a watch that many have reviewed before and that I did not have the chance to review before. It is a Saint Martin original design GMT SN 0116. And if the 1963 shows what China was capable of historically, the Saint Martin SN 016 shows what China is capable of now. This watch is an original design. It is extremely well made. Check Saint Martin watches, know what I'm talking about. And during the sale it costs $256. It might sound like a lot, but when you know the build quality and the quality of finishing of Saint Martin, you will know that it's actually quite a bargain. Because first of all, you get, as I said, the original design, you get a Seiko NH34 GMT in here, you get an extremely good piece of box domed sapphire crystal, you get a rotating bezel with loomed ceramic bezel insert, you get a beads of rice, extremely well made bracelet in here, and you get a very, very, very good on-the-fly adjustment clasp with solid elements. In my book, all that is a bargain for $256. Nothing, absolutely nothing from Switzerland, China or anywhere else can compete with those specs at this price level. It doesn't even exist. A watch that gives you so much for so little from anywhere else than China, for understandable reasons. But those reasons were defendable only as long as Chinese production was seen as inferior. Here it is not. Here this watch is much better in quality and miles better in finishing than anything out of Japan or Switzerland at this price point. $256 during the sale if you buy it on AliExpress, but I wanted to talk to you about SKB watches that generously gave me this watch. They have a warehouse of Saint Martin watches in Europe, so you do not have to pay VAT. And during the sale, so from the 18th to the 27th, make sure to get this watch. I'm going to be leaving the code in the description so you can get this watch at SKB. And of course, I'm going to leave the link in the description. That's been it for the review. I really hope it was useful for you. If it was, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And do tell me if I'm forgetting about something. Of course, there are so many watches around. I cannot talk about everything, but I did want to talk about the best stuff that I saw during this sale according to me. Thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Goodbye.